Hey, nerdy sports fan here, and we're going team by team, going through their entire schedule, breaking down things down to a win-loss record prediction. Now, how this works is, yes, there's definitely games that I think are going to be a win right off the bat. Same with losses, but a lot of the other ones are going to be in more of a toss-up category. That is because parity in the league is fantastic right now, and I just don't believe without seeing any sort of preseason action, you can call today absolutely for certain every single game. That's ludicrous. Either way, at the end of it, the toss-up category is going to be split based off of strength of schedule, very close to even, and that's how we'll get our final record prediction. So, for these 49ers, let's dig into it. Okay, so week one, you get the Cardinals. That's a win. You're at home. You're against a team that's still quite young, not quite ready to compete with the big boys. This is a given, okay? So, at the Jets, week two, that's a win. I don't care if it's a road game. They're the Jets. They're god-awful. Not god-awful. They're a middle-of-the-road team at best. They're in New Jersey, and you're going to take advantage of that, okay? Week three, at the Giants. What do you know? Another win. And for very similar reasons as to the Jets. All right, first of all, back-to-back games on the road in the same stadium against different teams. That's a interesting concept. Likelihood is that the team just stays out there for a couple of weeks. They don't travel back home, which will make things far easier for them against the Giants than they were against the Jets, even though the Jets were pretty easy in the first place. So I anticipate the game against the Giants to just be a thumping at the hands of these 49ers. So, Eagles, you're getting them at home. That's a win. So, yes, the Eagles are a strong team. Okay? You're getting them at home. You're getting them in a situation where you're riding high. Team is just rolling at this point. Just rattling off 3 straight wins, feeling very strong about themselves. Homecoming after a couple of road games. Energy's all going to be in 49ers' favor. And any sort of different situation, I would expect this to be a more contested bout. But in this sort of situation, I do anticipate the 49ers just being strong there and taking home the W. All right, so Dolphins at home. Well, what do you know? That's a win. This is a very easy beginning to the schedule. The only game that really could be in question here is that Eagles game. But again, this Dolphins team, they're just not ready for the big leagues yet, okay? I think they have the right coach. They might have the right GM. I didn't really like his draft this year, but at least they got Tua out of it. They're just nowhere near where they need to be to compete with real playoff teams. So, Rams, that's a win. All right, the Rams aren't the team they used to be with Gurley in his prime, okay? They've made some very questionable decisions with trading away first-round draft picks for win-now type of moves. And you're starting to see the fallout of that. They're not able to replenish this roster in the way that other teams are able to with players that can contribute right away in their first year or two. So they're not getting that. They have to rely on extremely, extremely good scouting and drafting of the later round talent, and that doesn't always work out. The draft is not an exact science, but I always viewed it as, you're throwing darts. Okay? Earlier rounds, you're standing closer to the dartboard. Can you still hit a bullseye in the 7th round? Sure. But throwing a bullseye from 45 feet away from the dartboard, not as simple as if you're 10 feet away. So, anyways, the Rams are much weaker than they used to be, and you're getting them at home. I expect this to be a win. All right, so at the Patriots, you're winning that one too, because Jimmy G is absolutely not going to let Bill Belichick leave that stadium without knowing for a fact he made a mistake in letting go of him. Okay? This is a revenge tour against the Patriots. The first year without Brady. Everybody's going to be giving Belichick their best shot, especially people that had personal relationships with him at some point. So I expect that to be a huge game for Jimmy G. All right, so Seattle. a bit of a toss-up game, okay? It doesn't matter that it's at home. It doesn't. Okay, the Seattle 49ers have one of the best rivalries in all of sports going right now. In this moment, this is one of the best matchups to watch, and we get it twice a year. I'm extremely excited for this game. Any one of the Seattle versus 49ers games, any one of the two, maybe a third one later on, will be game of the year candidates. Okay? Very strong games last year. Not enough roster turnover to think it's going to be any different this year. All right, so you getting the Packers at home. That's a W. Okay? Packers put themselves in a real bind. They didn't do anything for win now. They did a lot of things for transitioning the roster towards the kind of offense that the 49ers are running right now. Getting an H-back in the draft instead of a wide receiver. Kind of a chump move, okay? And getting Aaron Rodgers' replacement when he's still at least got 2 to 3 years left. Just so much locker room drama got created by that move that I do not expect the Packers to have a very strong season this year. The locker room is not going to be where it needs to be a winner. Not to mention, everybody and their uncle thought that they were the weakest number 2 seed anybody's seen out of the NFC in a very long time. The scheduling gods were in their favor last year, not so much this year. This Packers game is a win. All right, so then you're going on the road to the Saints. This is a bit of a toss-up. This is another Game of the Year candidate game, okay? Drew Brees is going to be a man on fire this year. He knows that he has one, at most 2 seasons left to get another ring on his finger. Is he a Hall of Famer? Abso-fucking-lutely. Is he in the conversation for greatest ever? No. He needs at the very least one more ring in order to make that any sort of viable conversation. Sean Payton knows that this is his last shot, maybe last 2 shots with Brees. He's going to be ready. They have one of the best built rosters in the league from top to bottom. This is absolutely not a given. It's not a game you can guarantee that you're going to be competitive in. Now, San Francisco is obviously the defending NFC champions. So, I'm not besmirching San Francisco. I'm just saying the Saints are a damn good team. You cannot overlook them. You can't assume a win. You can't assume good competition because you are who you are. But on the road, it's going to be tough with the Saints. All right, so you get a bye week in week 11. That's nice. All right, you could be Seattle. You could have a week 6 bye week. Later in the season, the better. So getting these guys some effective rest in week 11, that's nice. That's nice. Get back into the groove and healthy before the home stretch to the playoffs. All right, so week 12 at the Rams, bit of a toss-up. Okay, the Rams are a top-heavy team. They have premier talent at a handful of positions. The rest of the guys are kind of chumps. And I'm only putting this in this category because the Rams have home field advantage. All right? The 49ers roster is far superior. Is Jimmy G better than Jared Goff? Maybe. Maybe not. Okay? He might have topped out. Are they going to be better than the Rams in the running game? Likely. Cam Akers is fantastic. All right? He didn't get the shine that a lot of other running backs did because he played behind one of the worst offenses in all of college football at Florida State. The offensive line was awful there. So the fact that he was able to put the very good film that he was together says something about him. Now that he's got an NFL offensive line, albeit an average one, it's still far better blocking than he's ever gotten in his college career. So I expect Cam Akers to be a huge upgrade to that offense, but it's not enough. Okay, the receiver that they drafted in the second round is not going to be an immediate impact. Receivers never are. And they didn't do a damn thing to help Aaron Donald on this defense. So, yeah, the 49ers made improvements in the offseason. The Rams did make some improvements, just not as strong ones as the 49ers did. They're still relying on an almost 40-year-old left tackle. They had to con into not retiring, essentially. There's some weaknesses there that you can definitely take advantage of, but they are a good team. They are not a pushover team, and they're at home. So you got to give them the honest chance at winning. All right, so Bills, you're getting them at home. This is a win. Okay? Are the Bills a far better team than they were in just 2 years ago? Absolutely. All right? They're going to win their division. They're going to be a serious playoff contender. Are the Bills necessarily ready to go on the road to the San Francisco 49ers house and hang an L on them? I don't think so. Okay? They're definitely a competitive team, for sure. I just don't think they're going to go into the house of the NFC champions and hang an L on them. I don't see it. All right, so Washington, you're getting them at home. It's not going to matter. If you got them on the road, at home, on Mars, you're going to get a win. Okay, Washington is terrible this year. They're likely going to be the number 1 overall draft pick recipient. So, not really much to talk about there. You're at the Cowboys in Week 15. This is a toss-up. Cowboys are a strong team. Okay, they got a lot better this offseason in their upgrade at the coach. You know, got rid of Jason Garrett, brought in Super Bowl winner Mike McCarthy. Should be able to do fantastic things with Dak Prescott and Ezekiel Elliott in this offense, as long as he doesn't feed Ezekiel Elliott the same diet he gave Eddie Lacy. I think they'll be fine. You're the 49ers, okay? You're the, if not one of, the very best defenses in the league, and one of the few defenses I can honestly say would be competitive with this offensive squad that is the Cowboys. So, again, toss up there in Dallas. You're going at the Cardinals, Week 16. I'm putting that in the toss-up category too. Look, the Cardinals are a team that has the offense perfectly built to dismantle this defense. They're just not there yet. They're not. They're young. They're inexperienced. They don't have a defense themselves. Their offense is a damn juggernaut. Okay, that is scary on that side of the ball. Kyler Murray needs a year or two more in the league before he can just start calling his shot against strong teams at home. So again, toss up. You're going to run roughshod all over their defense. They're going to be extremely tough to stop on offense. It's going to be a fun game to watch. All right, so Seattle, Week 17 for the division. You get them at home. But like I said earlier, home field doesn't matter between these teams. Okay? Best rivalry going in football at this moment. They are two in the same division that are worthy of competing for the Super Bowl. They're both in their Super Bowl window right now. This is going to be an exciting game to watch. It's the last game of the year. It's going to be the game that decides the division. I guarantee that. And to have two teams in their Super Bowl window in the same division. God damn, this is exciting. All right, the whole country should be watching that game. I mean, you're closing out the season, obviously, in primetime, a great game to put in that time slot. Barring catastrophic injuries to key players, this is going to be a great season to watch with a great ending. So, if you are paying attention, you're 9-0 in the games that I think are definitely callable right now. You take the remaining games and essentially split them. My record prediction for this team is 12-4. The exact same record prediction I have for the Seattle Seahawks. Strength of schedule and head-to-head matchup wins are going to be what calls this division. It's going to be a fun season, guys. It really is. All right, so hit me up in the comments. Let me know what you think. Like and subscribe if you enjoy this content. Hit me up on Patreon, because once the season starts, bulk of my content on this channel is fantasy football related. If you need help setting your draft order, if you need help setting your lineup, I'm your guy. Thanks for watching, fellas.